I didn't think this Draymond Green situation could get any worse. For those of you that don't know, about 2 weeks ago, Draymond Green and Jordan Poole got in a little scuffle at practice, and the video was leaked to TMZ. Now, just 2 weeks later, we're in a little bit of a different situation now. I'm gonna reference the punch because there is some stuff that did come out right after it was leaked and the whole news broke out, but this video is more about Draymond Green and the problems that he is causing as a player himself. When Draymond Green was caught on video punching Jordan Poole, everyone in the NBA went crazy, and some people said it was an overreaction, and some said it wasn't. And judging by the situation, I know that Draymond Green has had many problems in Golden State, which I did highlight in that video. Now, one of the things that people were bringing up, and it honestly pissed me off every time I heard this, was the fact that Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr and then they won a championship and all that. First of all, context is a very important thing that I feel like a lot of people just completely left out. I mean, where do you want me to start? First of all, Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan, you know, the greatest player of all time. And then you had Steve Kerr, who was a young player at the time. And Draymond Green, while he is the vet in this situation, he's not Michael Jordan in any way, shape, or form. And if you want to actually get into the real details about what happened between the two situations, do any of you guys actually know the story about what happened? Well, here's the best way I can summarize it.
One thing led to another. Next thing you know, I fouled him real hard. He fouls me real hard. And then before I knew it, I hauled off and just whacked it right in the eye. All the anger, all the comments of people saying that my skills are eroded and I wasn't the same Michael Jordan, and I was letting everything go. Then Phil threw me out of practice, and I'm sitting in the shower, and I'm saying I got to be the dumbest jackass.
And look, I'm not trying to justify what Michael Jordan did, you know, it was dumb as hell, but at least he had remorse for Steve Kerr and constantly was trying to apologize and make things right. Now, Draymond, on the other hand, claims that he apologized to Jordan Poole and his family, but honestly, with some things that have been happening recently, I think that was the most fake-ass apology I've ever seen. Now, how do you make things 10 times worse? You would think the Draymond Green podcast, but no, my friend. There is another way that is 10 times worse. This man makes a fucking documentary about what happened and essentially is trying to manipulate you. Now, some people are saying this is just about the punch and I guess that week and you know what happened, but there were already cameras there, so I'm pretty sure it was for the preseason. But the way he was trying to spin what happened and make him seem like a victim is some YouTube apology shit.
Once I woke up to the video, I don't know if the dynamic necessarily changes or not, because you never really know people's opinions right away. And so I was just at home chilling with my children. If you want me to be honest with you, I still don't know how much the world may think it blew up.
How do you punch someone and then that's a positive for you? What the f? This makes no sense to me. And look, the fact that Draymond Green got basically off scot-free, all he did was miss, I think, the remainder of the preseason, but he was able to come back for the ringing ceremony and also suited up for game 1, which let's talk about game 1 of the season. It's the Warriors versus Lakers, which on paper sounds like it's gonna be a Warriors blowout. Spoiler alert, it was. Now, I cannot forget to mention that Draymond Green had a very impressive 4 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds while playing for 25 minutes. As the game goes on, Draymond Green does something that I can't even understand why one would do this in the middle of a game. Can you please hop off LeBron James's dick, dude? Like, please. Look, I get it. Like, nowadays, people are very easily going to say that you're dick riding someone because you give them respect. Like, watch this. Okay, Will So Trill is one of my favorite NBA YouTubers. Yo, what the f? And this is no exception in the NBA. I feel like if you say any player is good, you're just gonna be met with that, oh, you're D-riding him, which is so annoying. So just know when I say that Draymond Green is dick-riding LeBron James, I am not overreacting about this. Draymond, why are you talking to LeBron in the middle of a game all buddy-buddy? This makes no sense to me. And like, I get it, you're friends and that's cool and all, but dude, you're in the middle of a game. And this isn't me just being like, oh, I'm just trying to make points. I'm trying to get every single thing I can to put on top of Draymond, like the way Draymond wants to be on top of LeBron. You can tell by just looking at the bench that they all look pissed off, like, bro, why are you doing this? I don't know if Draymond just doesn't know when the right time to do things is, but you could have done that after the game and no one would have gave a shit. I don't know, man. The way it looks like, I think Draymond wants to be traded to the Lakers, or at least at the bare minimum, he's kind of checked out of Golden State. One of the reasons why I believe Draymond Green threw that punch at Jordan Poole and knocked him out allegedly understandably of course, is because of his max contract situation, because Draymond Green for some reason believes he's worth a max contract. And look, I could just bring up his stats and compare them to other players who do have a max contract, but I think you would know how that's gonna go. And look, players like Draymond Green don't just have value in their basketball skills. Most of his value, in my opinion, is him as a locker room leader. Someone who is willing to help out these young guys in the NBA. And someone who cares about his team and would never do something or say something to put his team in a negative way. That's the Draymond Green show. Nah, bro, what the fuck? And look, I know back in like 2016, he was the defensive player of the year. You know, he has very good chemistry with Steph and he's very smart as a basketball player, but that's not worth a max contract. Look, your amazing leadership is not worth a max contract. I'm sorry. Back in 2016, I would have said Draymond is worth it. He was a great defensive player, not even just great. I would say he was an amazing defensive player who was someone that was a hustler. But just 6 years later, he's digressed so much that him getting a max contract would be similar to Udonis Haslem getting one. Draymond Green is an overhyped Udonis Haslem. That is the best way I can put it. And let's just say Draymond Green is worth the max contract. Well, okay, but there's just one problem. Where do you have the money for a max contract? I mean, Steph Curry's making about 50 million plus a year, which he should be, by the way. Both Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins got bags this summer. On top of that, I'm pretty sure Klay Thompson has a lot left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken. Holy shit, Klay Thompson's making 40 million a year? Mind you, these are just like 4 players that I've talked about that have gotten bags, not including whatever Draymond Green is making, plus the role players. There is literally no way the Warriors would be able to pay Draymond Green that max contract. And even if they could and they had the money for it, and let's say they made a trade or two to clear up some cap space, why the fuck would you do that now? Now, I don't know if this is gonna say this in the title, but Draymond Green is also a really big hypocrite. A while back, Draymond Green started this thing called the new media, where basically it was more of a media that was focused on players and what they have to say instead of these analysts. And look, it's no secret, on this channel, I fucking despise NBA media. I have always criticized the media whenever they've done something dumb. So with that being said, when Draymond Green started this new media thing and we were seeing him as more of an analyst, I was actually really hyped about it. Everything he was preaching about is literally the exact same thing that I've been wanting for the longest time. But there was just one problem with this new media thing. It got to Draymond's head. Nowadays, when I think new media, I think of cringe. That is the best way I can put it. Whenever anything happens that Draymond Green doesn't agree with, he just screams out new media like it's gonna fucking do something. Draymond Green somehow has made the NBA media look a lot more competent than him, which is why I tweeted Spex media over new media, which by the way, if you're this far into the video, you should comment that so I know that you're here. And I'm not saying that Draymond Green cannot be a good analyst. He absolutely can, but the problem is that he's doing the same thing that the NBA media has done. Over this last year, I've learned that when you give a certain someone a platform, you really get to see who they are. And you might say, oh, but that's Draymond Green, Spex. He's an NBA player. He's been known for years. And while that may be true, no one really looked to Draymond to talk about good basketball as an analyst, at least. Whatever Draymond Green said really didn't have much of an impact unless it was like on one of his own teammates, then something would get brought up. But other than that, no one really cared. However, because of the Draymond Green show and now him being an analyst for TNT, which he technically is actually an analyst for them, we gave Draymond Green too much power. We gave him a bigger voice than he deserved. And now we're seeing the true colors of him, which is not exactly the most prettiest thing ever. And like I said earlier, as someone that wants to see a difference in the media, which by the way, that's why my name is literally Spex Media, it annoys me that someone who had potential just throws it away to literally be the one thing that he didn't want to be. That's like me making videos about the Lakers talking bad about them, but then I become a Lakers fan. Either way, Draymond Green is starting to piss off a lot of people and is slowly losing credibility as a whole. Either way, I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen in Golden State, especially the fact that Draymond Green more than likely is going to be gone by the end of this season.